All right, let's get it. Let's go. Hey, welcome to the Panda Podcast, episode 9. This is your host, Panda, in here with Kiwi in the building. We got some cool things to talk about this week because, man, let me tell you. First of all, let me see how you doing. How you doing, Kiwi? How's your week so far?
I'm good, man. I'm chilling.
Yeah.
Chilling.
What'd you do today? What'd you do? What you been doing?
Usual sport, man, on a Saturday.
How was your sports? Did your team win this week?
They drew.
Your team win?
So,
they drew? What does that even mean?
And then my daughter's turning 8 in 3 days.
Damn,
so she
son.
had a birthday party today as well. So
Fancy.
yeah, so lots of kids and lots of loud noises.
Nice. So we got some dope shit to talk about. Yo, what's up, Nate?
What's good, man?
What's really good? All right, everyone. Nasty Nate is in the building. So, this episode is a bunch of spoilers, just so you guys know. If you guys haven't watched Game of Thrones episode 3, skip this podcast for like the next 15 to 20 minutes. All right? Like, just don't listen or mute it because we're about to talk about some shit. Okay? So, Game of Thrones episode 3. You guys had a week to watch this shit. So if you haven't watched this shit, it's your fault. I haven't watched it myself, but I got the cliff notes. All right? So, Kiwi, you've actually watched the episode. How'd you like it?
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it's the battle that we've all been waiting for. There's been a lot of complaints that the episode itself was really dark.
Oh yeah,
it wasn't really dark. It was actually pretty hard to see some of it. But yeah, it definitely didn't disappoint.
Yeah,
it was. I mean, it hit world record numbers as well.
Oh yeah, this is the craziest episode.
Most viewed on TV. This episode.
Oh man, I was watching the reactions at the end. Dude, these guys were super lit. So if you guys don't know, if you guys are just kind of I don't care if I haven't watched it. So it was the episode when the White Walkers attacked Winterfell, right? And it was pretty much humans versus those little ice zombies guys, right? And the undead, yeah, pretty much, right? And so you had all the main characters at Winterfell, except for I guess Cersei, right? That crazy.
Yeah, you basically had all the good people.
Yeah, all the good people in one spot. Brienne, Jaime, Arya, all the Starks, Khaleesi, everybody there, right? And the White Walkers are about to fuck the shit up in there, right? The episode was really well shot, in my opinion, from what I saw. And the lighting for all the fire and all that good shit. And it just gave you a scale of how big and how outnumbered they were against the White Walkers, right? And it was pretty tight, right? I forget what the dragons were named. The Khaleesi's dragons.
I can't remember what they called.
Oh well. Yeah, they had the sweet dragon fight in the air with the fucking White Walker dragon. Okay, full disclosure, I don't watch this show. I just watch it. I just keep up with it. So you guys can hate on me all you want. I watch it. I watch the cliff notes on YouTube. But I just want you guys to know that this is just I watch the highlights and it's so good, right? So what battle was your favorite battle in the show, Kiwi, in that episode? When you watched it, who was oh, that was badass?
Probably Arya, actually, when she's in a library, and she's literally running for her life. Got the Hound, and I forget his name, the guy that's died 9 times and been brought back to life.
Yeah, that guy, dude, what is happening?
And then you've got actually at the very end there, it gave me goosebumps, right? Because the guy had been brought back to life 9 times, and then he was actually the one that suffered. He actually sacrificed his life for Arya, and then the
guy with the eye patch, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And then the guy, then the woman in red, the lady in red.
The lady in red, that girl, what's her name? Malisi or
I
something?
can't even remember her name, dude.
Dude, what the heck? Okay. You watch this shit. Come on, Kiwi.
Yeah, dude, oh, come on, man. I don't. Yeah. Sorry.
The girl who like gave the prophecy to what's her name, right?
Well, then she basically just said that, that's why he's been brought back to life 9 times to protect you or something. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So I saw the clip of Arya with her spear just like wrecking these zombies, ice zombies. And then that was pretty dope because, like, you know, when you're watching through the series, you just see her just like assassinating people, right? Just like straight up just killing these people. But this is like the first time you actually get to see her just like fight. You know what I mean? Like, you're actually like seeing her like kick ass.
Well, it's actually her first fight, proper fight as well.
Yeah, exactly. Because most of the time it's just like you see her just like assassinating people or just like getting the drop on people. So it's really nice to see like, whoa, she was like actually like fucking the shit up. You know what I mean? Besides the fight with Brienne, where they were just kind of training, that was pretty dope. That was like the coolest thing I've ever seen Arya do. Arya's bae, by the way. She's like my favorite character. One of my favorite characters on the show.
It's a favorite character.
She's one of my favorite characters on the show. Because I like Tyrion because he's so smart. And he's a small guy. Brienne and Jaime, those two were pretty badass on that episode. Like, because they were just getting dogpiled over and over again and they didn't die for some crazy reason, even though Jaime had like one hand. Like, what? You know what I mean? And then... who's that dude that was protecting Brand next to that tree? Do you remember him?
Yeah, it's why?
Dude, so
I forget names,
this, man. I can't even right now, bro. But yeah, that dude, I guess, because he was like, people didn't like him, but then people liked him again, and then they felt bad for him, and now he just went out like a gangsta, because like, you know, the Night King just killed him at the end, you know? Yeah. And then, so, tell me this, like, I missed this part of the story in the episodes. So Bran, right? So in the beginning, he fell off the window. Yeah, he got pushed off the window. So he was in a wheelchair, and he was dead, but he got brought back to life, and now he's in a wheelchair. And then at one point, he was able to stand. And now he's back on a wheelchair. I don't know what. Tell me what happened there.
No, he never stood. He never actually stands.
But I saw him
when he's standing. It's because he's in a memory.
Okay. So that's
This is him like dreaming and like
Dreamland, Sorcerer Land, right, or something. Okay, so it's a memory. So that's why I was like, why is he standing sometimes? Okay, that makes more sense. All right, and then you got the Night King. Showing his ass, whooping everyone else's, right? Mm-hmm. And then the moment at the end, right? So when...
By the way, his name was Theon Greyjoy.
Theon, yeah, that guy. Theon.
Reek.
Yeah, that dude, dude, I saw his fight too. He was just See, the spear... That is like the super underrated weapon of all time, right? Because it's super long range and very effective, right?
I mean, it's the only thing that's going to take out a dragon.
I guess. No, I'm talking about versus like the horde of like White Walkers, right?
Yeah.
And it was just kind of crazy because I was like, man, these guys are like, realistically, a spear is like the best weapon ever, right? Versus a sword, you know what I mean? Because the range is too good. And you can put a lot of force with the least amount of effort. So it's pretty nice. Right? And then you got the Night King. Fucking the shit up everywhere. About to kill Bran. And then the moment of truth happens. Right? Bran is looking at the Night King like, it's all over for me, son. You know? And then all of a sudden, you see Arya jump out of nowhere. Because she's nobody. Right? And then she gets fucking stopped by the Night King. I'm like, oh, fuck! Sorry, Arya. You're gone. And then she pulls that drop the knife shit, like she did.
Weapon swap.
Weapon swap. Weapon swap to the other hand, and just ooh, clutch, dude. That was mad clutch. I didn't expect that at all. I knew because I was like, oh, Arya's gonna die. No way. You know, I was like, no. I was so sad, but then she didn't die. So Arya's a badass. She is like, you know what? Does she have more? Does she have more body count than anyone on the show, or who has killed more people than her?
I mean, you can't really. You can't really.
Well, I mean, like important people. She's killed a lot of important people. That's what I'm saying here.
And she takes MVP, dude. She killed the most important person.
Yeah, yeah. She's number one. All right. Not about spoilers. That episode was tight. Everybody loved that shit. It was a really good episode. Like people said, it was really dark and couldn't see a lot, but in the night, that's how it is, right? You know what I mean? And it was supposed to be super suspenseful. It was really nice. All right. Our next segment is video game addictions and why they are addicting. All right. So everyone in this chat right now, we all play video games. A lot. Correct?
A lot.
Thousands of hours.
A lot.
Thousands of hours, right? Crazy amounts of hours playing video games. Either it be a console game, computer game, whatever, right? So, why are video games so addicting to you, Kiwi?
I got into video games like, I want to say like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Where I actually got introduced Path of Exile to me.
Yeah.
And, adventure games and like progressive, like leveling up and the whole like finding gear really caught my attention. And that's what got me into the whole video gaming addiction thing. Because you sit down and play it, you learn more and more. Yep. You just can't stop. Can't stop. And then you get introduced new games, like you introduced Paladins, you introduced a few FPSs, like the Guild did as well. The Guild was a big part of it as well. And then you've got your adventure game that you play like 24/7, or as much as you can, besides kids and all that.
Adventure game.
And then, yeah, exactly. And then if that gets boring, or you need a little break, then you're just like, whoa, shit! You just go play a different game. Like, so it's just non-stop video games, man. It's pretty bad.
So I think the reason why video games are so addicting is because it puts me in a world where I can do stuff that I really can't do in real life. Right? For instance, I can't go and shoot like 5 billion people and then just be fine with that. You know what I mean? Like, you could de-stress, right? Because the common misconception is video games are violent and that leads to violent mindsets, like life choices. That's not true, right? Yeah, in a way, it kind of desensitizes you to like actual shit, but look at the news, right? When you go watch the news in America, I don't know about wherever you guys are, who the listeners out there, when you watch the news, like CNN, like what you're seeing there is like super crazy graphic versus like video games, like it's not real, and it's just an escape from real life. And that's why for me video games are addicting, because I could be whoever I want to be, right? And it's the feeling of progress that gets me, right? For instance, let's say Path of Exile, for instance. I know I will get stronger the more I play, and it'll always be better when I play longer, and I put the time in, right? And I always want to see how far I can get in the game, because I've always seen that progress bar, the experience bar, like, oh, you're getting there, you're always going good, right? So that's how it is for me. And what makes it addicting is the people that you play with, right? So we're in a guild, thankfully, and you have people to play with and talk to and have a community because you guys are all like-minded people, right? Like me and Kiwi, we play games together all the time, and it's just that camaraderie that makes me keep coming back to it, you know? Even if I don't want to play and I'm having a bad day, I could just log on and just talk to these guys, and it makes me feel good, and I get excited to play this game, right? So another question for you, Kiwi. You can hop in here too, Nate. How old were you when you started really gaming?
23.
23? So 3 years ago when you started started playing Path of Exile? Wait, didn't you play a game before Path of Exile?
No, Path of Exile was my first game. My girlfriend Charlotte can differ in that.
Really? You didn't play a game before that? You didn't play anything?
No, I did sports. Which was like the whole sports thing in real life.
Fucking nuts, dude. Well, for me, I started really playing video games 1997? StarCraft.
Yeah, but you're old though.
Fuck you. Yeah, I'm an old man. In 1997, because StarCraft came out, and that game was thebomb.com. It's a...
Do you...
Huh?
Do you play video games to like release anger as well? Like to like stress yourself? If you're having a really shit day and people have pissed you off, dude, and you want to like, you go play like a first person shooter like Apex or Call of Duty or something.
Oh, no. I listen to music. Music is the answer. Music and dancing is my answer for everything. Video games is more like just
enjoy fun.
Escape from reality. Right? Like it's just something to pass the time when I'm by myself. Because if I'm around people, I don't really play games. You know? I just kind of when people are around, I'm around the people and I'm talking to them and we're just doing crazy shit. Unless we're playing video games, then we're playing video games, right? But most of the time when I play video games, it's because I'm just by myself and have nothing else to do, right? And that's why when I play games with you guys, I'm obviously by myself and no one around me, so I talk to you guys, so I have people around me like through voice chat, right? And we're doing something together to get a common goal. For instance, this race, we're going to get your ass to 100, right? Get you that demis, son.
It's very funny.
You know what I'm saying? So the next question for you is, what was the game that took over your life? Obviously it's Path of Exile because that's the only game you play. Nerd. For me, there was a lot of games. Like I have a timeline, like a straight up timeline of games that took over my life over the years, right? So it was StarCraft, and that was until like 8th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade, and then 9th grade Counter-Strike. So after Counter-Strike, it became Ragnarok Online. And then after that, Diablo 2. Then Diablo 2 came into the mix, and I played that for an extremely long time. And then after that, StarCraft, Guild Wars, the first one. Guild Wars 1 was like that game I played straight for 5 years. So I played that game from my senior year in high school to like the second year in the Navy. Second to third year I was in the Navy. So that was like 5 years solid of me playing that game. And the reason why I stayed in that game for so long is because they always had new content coming out. My guild was super active and I was always talking to them, and there was a whole bunch of stuff happening, and it's super awesome, right? And then it got to the point where I just had everything in that game. I couldn't get any higher, and my guild stopped playing because life happened. You know, families and shit. Like, what the fuck? Who gets a job, right? Who gets a job? What? Adulting? What is that? right?
Not an excuse to stop playing video games though, just because you have a family.
I know, right? And then StarCraft 2 came out. Not StarCraft 2.
Diablo 2.
StarCraft 2. Oh, no. My friend wanted me to start playing StarCraft again because they wanted to play StarCraft. Right? So I could teach them how to play and all that good stuff. And then I had this, whoa, that's crazy. And then I had this, what do you call this word? Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart. This demo disc of World of Warcraft. Yeah? And then after that, I played like the demo for that, the 14-day, and I was like, man, this game is super good. And then I was like, I gotta play this, see how good it is. And that took over my life for 2.5 years. I played that game straight for 2.5 years. I didn't talk to nobody. I didn't go outside. This game, like, it was like the episode of South Park when they just kind of just played the game and it became a no-lifer. When I would go to work, come home, and then just play this game until I had to go back to work again. Like, I would have like 30 minutes of sleep for like the next 6 months to a year and a half, 2 years. Like, this game was just that good, right? And then after that, Call of Duty happened. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Because after World of Warcraft, I realized, man, I could just go out and talk to girls because they're cooler. And then that's when I stopped playing World of Warcraft. And I played Call of Duty for a pretty long time. And then I went to college. Oh, yeah, I played League of Legends after Call of Duty. I played League of Legends. Holy crap, I played League of Legends for a super long time since beta. So that was 2011, 2010, until like 2014, I want to say 15. It was a long freaking time, man. Played League of Legends for a super long time. Then after that, I was like a gamer. Yeah, then I met you guys. I was playing Robocraft for a while and Counter-Strike Global Offensive. This is like when I was playing like a lot of games, like totally different games, because I started streaming in 2012. So I started playing a whole bunch of games. I was playing Unturned, Robocraft, Black Desert Online. I was just a variety streamer. I played a whole bunch of games. But yeah, so next thing I'm going to talk about is the pros and cons of video games, right? So the cool thing about video games that a misconception about video games is they're bad for you, for your mental health and physical health because you lose weight and stuff, right? Totally not true in my opinion. Yeah. So, in my opinion, video games are like, they do good things for you. You know what I mean? Like, they put you in a point. No. So the good things about video games is it brings your critical thinking up really high. Like you obtain critical thinking skills, like high levels of critical thinking, because you acquire twitch reflexes. So like when, let's say you're doing something and then something happens, you know what to kind of do like immediately, because you're so used to doing stuff really fast and quick thinking, right? Because a lot of quick reaction time things are happening. So that's really good for like critical thinking skills. Like, oh, this happened right here. You kind of just like adjust quickly versus, oh man, I have a problem. Let me stop and think, and what's the best way to do this problem? No. When you play video games, your critical thinking skills go up really high to where when something happens, you don't even like think. It just happens. Oh, this shit's fucked up. Let me fix it real quick. And then people wouldn't even know that you messed up. Right? So that's a cool thing about video games. And then on top of that, it makes your mind quicker. Like that's a really good pro on video games. And if you play the right video games, it even helps you with like economics. Like for instance, Path of Exile has like a trading system. You could do math, pretty much like algebra and calculus and all that stuff. And depending on what other games you play, like let's say you're playing like The Sims or a simulation game, you could like economic stuff, and you know how to build stuff and organize your stuff. It helps you organize, and it helps you with if you have OCD, you have all that stuff too going on. It's actually kind of crazy, to be honest with you. So, but the cons of video games, there are cons. The cons are your social life will suffer if you like don't have a balance, right? If you play a lot of games and you just kind of forget real world, yeah, you'll either gain a lot of weight because you're just kind of sitting there, you know what I mean, just kind of playing games, and you don't really have the motivation to go outside, which is really bad. But that's why you have a balance. And yeah, you gain weight if you're not really careful with it. Another con would be you become socially awkward, because if you don't talk to people, you get really bad mouth. And if you play multiplayer games, the other con if you play video games, you will have a very bad language filter. Like, you'll be exposed to a lot of bad words and like stuff like that, which is no problem for us. Yeah, right. So yeah, what about you? What are the pros and cons for video games for you?
Cons, spending a lot of time in front of the computer, less time helping the wife, less time with kids.
Priorities.
Yeah, exactly. Real life. Cons, I'm talking to my friends. I'm having a good time. I'm having fun. Con, that was a pro actually. Sorry. Con, I'm putting on weight. I'm getting sick more easily because I'm not going outside and not fucking getting that oxygen.
Yeah, that's bad. I don't know. I've never gained weight when I play video games. Most of the time, I lose weight.
I've definitely put on weight. I've definitely put on like 10, 20 kgs.
Jesus.
So, yeah, it's bad, man. It sucks. I think my biggest con was fucking up my knee, but I mean, you know, personal problems.
I guess that makes sense. Yeah. All right. So, moving on to our next topic here. Okay, so as video gamers, we tend to avoid social interaction with human beings, right? Depending on your personality, right? For me, I like meeting new people. I'm really open. I'm like when you see me out and about, I'm very open, like approachable as a person, because I just look like I'm having like the best time all the time, right? So our next segment is meeting new people in a social environment, right? So there's different kinds of people and energies that you have to put in mind when you're talking about stuff like this, right? So there's three main types of people here. You got the extroverts and the introverts. And then you have the mixture hybrid, ambiverts, right? So an extrovert is someone who gets energy from interacting with other people, right? So when, let's say, you're at a party, you get super hyped because of all the people there, because you're interacting and you just gain more, you're feeding off the energy of everybody else. So that kind of gets you excited and you kind of want to be there all the time, right?
Yeah, everything feels alive.
Yeah, everything feels alive, and it fuels you up to be like super hype, and you're like pretty much the life of the party. That's what extroverts are, right? And then the introverts, they're like the opposite, right? So introverts, they like to be alone in their own space, in their comfort zone, in their own little bubble. So, and they kind of save up the energy, and then when they go into a social event, talking with other people, it kind of drains their energy. So they can only stay in that environment for so long until they're like, all right, I'm done. I'm going to go home, right? And then you have the ambiverts, which have traits of both. Like, everyone's an ambivert, right? But most of the time, people are introverts most of the time, and then like whenever they want to spend energy, they do it. So what are you, Kiwi, when you go into like a social event like that? Like when you're in high school.
I enjoy lots of people, but not for long periods of time. Like, you know, if it's a party and I know people there, I'll do it all night, dude. But if there's lots of people and it's randoms, I like meeting new people, man. As well. It's not that like.
But you have like a limit.
I do have a point where I'm just like, okay, I need to not do this anymore. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand.
I need to go home and chill or something.
Yeah. For me, like when I meet new people, I'm like, yeah, fuck, meet new people, sweet. And I want to meet all the peoples. But it depends on what I'm doing, right? For instance, I always have to go back to dancing. So when I'm dancing, I love meeting new people, right? I love teaching people how to dance. I love dancing with new people. But when I'm at a party, I like meeting new people at like when it's busy. Like if I go to a party and I don't know anyone there, I'm kind of like just chilling until an interaction happens.
Do you hold back a lot from talking to new people if you're there by yourself?
Okay, if I'm there by myself and no one knows me, I have this persona that kind of pops open, right? So
All right, give me an example.
So like let's say if I'm at a party and I only know like one person there, right?
Are you going into the party with this person? Or
No, I'm going to this. The only person let's say I'm going to this person's birthday party, but I don't know, like it's her birthday party, but I only know her, but I don't know literally no one. This actually happened. So what I kind of did was just chilled. You know, like I just kind of chilled and like got a drink, and then I'd wait for something to happen. Like something like a guy did something crazy, and I was like, "Damn, that's nuts!" And people would be like, "Agree," and I'd be like, "Oh, hey, what's going on? My name is Panda." You know what I mean? Like that.
You'd wait for the opportune moment.
Yeah, I wouldn't make, like, for instance, talking to girls, I wouldn't make a move. Like, I wouldn't initiate conversation. I'd wait for something to happen.
You kind of wait,
yeah. I'd kind of wait for an opportunity to not make it, like, super awkward. Like, hey, what's going on, girl? My name is Panda, and I think you have the best eyes in the world. Like, something lame like that, right? I wouldn't do shit like that. I'd wait for something to happen, like, if someone did something crazy or like, oh man, they're talking about like a show that I know and I have input on, right? I'd be like, yeah, blah, blah, this, and this, you know, or someone like, oh, I like your jacket or something like that. And I'd be like, oh, thanks, man. I like your jacket. And then we would just talk. Like, I wouldn't initiate any exchange if I didn't know any people. I'd wait for people to open up to me because, one, I'm not, like, when you look at me, I'm, like I said, I'm very approachable. Plus, I dress really nice anyway. So, like, I always wear, like, a bow tie when I go out. So people always be like, oh, nice bow tie. And that's always, like, that's my, like, thing. Like, I always have to, like, pop out because I dress really well. That's how people talk to me and initiate. Or I'll be dancing and I ask them to dance, right? Because that's what you do at dancing stuff. But, like, if it was, like, a party or something like that, I would just be chilling until I know someone, and then people would be like, oh, man, yo, what's up, Panda? This is blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, oh, cool. And then I'd initiate conversation that way. I would never be like, oh, hey, what's going on? My name is Panda. Because that's weird for me. I don't know how to do that.
You don't introduce yourself. You kind of wait for it.
Yeah. I wait for the opportunity to come, like, to be like, oh, hey, what's going on? Like, I could see someone that I'm like, man, I wish I want to talk to her, but I'm going to wait for the opportunity to arise. So I'm not coming off, like, that's the thing. I don't want to come off creepy. You know what I mean? That first impression is very important. I want to make that impression real good. So I want to make my impression a certain way. I don't want to be like, oh, that's the guy who randomly talked to me. He's a fucking weirdo, right? I want to be like, oh yeah, I met you because this happened here. Remember that memory? And then like that, you know, like, I want to meet you in an event of something that happens, right? So you can remember me like, oh yeah, I met you at this thing because you did this. Not, oh yeah, we were at this party and he just like kind of talked to me randomly. I know, you know what I mean? Like that's the first impression I don't want. So
you don't want this is the random guy.
Yeah, the random guy who fucking talked to me randomly. Yeah, I want to be like, I want to be that.
You want to be the guy that this is the guy that I spoke to about this, and this, and this.
Yeah, that's
actually had an interesting conversation.
Yeah, an interaction happened, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't want it to be like, yeah, this guy just kind of randomly talked to me at a bar and said I look good. Like, no, that's not. I met this guy when something happened and we were both there and we talked about it. Like, that's the impression that I want, right? So I want that, like, oh, how'd you meet blah, 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 and then a story happens. Like, that's how I want someone to meet me. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's the best way I meet people, through dancing or through an event, at a social event, like a mini event that happened, right? So, and speaking about girls, what are some awkward moments with girls growing up with you? Did you have any awkward moments, like, that you would like to share with the listeners out there?
Like really young, or
anytime during now to when you were like, you knew what girls were.
I'm sure we've all had that moment.
Oh yes, we've all.
You rip a fart in front of the whole school. But,
So tell me about that.
sitting down in front of the whole school at an assembly, I think it's what it's called, and that's what it is.
That makes sense. Assembly, yeah.
And we're all sitting there, dude, and as you do, you got to take a shit. You like stand up, dude, and it just and your ass is literally like not quite off the fucking ground yet, and it's got that big vibrating burp to it,
Oh, so you were like in the bleachers or whatever. And
I was literally sitting like on the ground.
You're sitting, and then it just happened.
Bam. Yeah.
And there was
pretty awkward, and I had that tendency when I was young. When I got embarrassed, my face went really red, dude. Like, you could tell, everyone could see that it was me. I mean, everyone that was sitting close to me fucking knew it was me as well. So.
So were you like super embarrassed? Did you like walk away, or did you just like kind of stood there and was like, "Yeah, that happened. Let's keep going."
I mean, it was one of those things that you could laugh off, right? Everyone laughed, and then you're like, "Oh yeah,"
So did you have any like, when you were talking to a girl and you had like an awkward moment where you're like, "Oh, let me just walk away from you," kind of shit?
I don't think I've really experienced that. No, not that I can remember anyway.
So like when you talk to girls, like let's say you were flirting with a girl, you didn't like fuck up at all?
I've called a girlfriend a wrong name before.
Holy shit! See, that's an awkward moment.
No. So what happened was we were talking. When you were talking, if you're talking about one of her friends, for example, about what they did and how we're going to go to a party and all this sort of stuff, right? And then we're in a room, and then I was like, "Hey Mel," and then her name's Laura, so I was like, "Hey Mel," and she was like, "Wait, what?" And I was like, "Oh shit, okay. Well, I didn't mean to call you Mel. Your name's Laura."
She was pissed. She was pissed. She was pissed.
She was pissed too, but I was like, "Yo, okay, so this is why. This is how it happened and why." We were literally just talking about Mel, so
And she's like,
said Mel like fucking a million times. I apologize, obviously.
She's still pissed at you, dude.
No, she was pissed. Yeah, she was pissed as fuck. She was not happy.
Women.
But, in my head, dude, I explained it extremely well to her. I was like, "Yo, we've just been talking about it, man. Like, it's not that I'm sitting here fucking thinking about it,
I mean, you technically were.
Well, yeah, because we've been talking about it.
I'm fucking just trolling you.
Who cares?
So,
I think that was probably one of my more awkward moments, for sure.
Like calling your girlfriend another
calling my girlfriend,
calling your girlfriend another girl's name.
One of her best friends' names.
It's like, oh, you like her now? You like Mel now?
Yeah,
Why don't you go be with her then? Jesus, man. That is so crazy, dude. Like that stuff happens. When that happens, I'm just like, man.
That's basically what happened.
You need to chill. You need to chill. But you can't even say that to a lady either. Like, you need to relax. Because they're just like, what do you mean relax? I am relaxed. Dude.
And then females being female, she went and talked to Mel about it, and Mel was like, "Well, I mean, you were just talking about it. You were just talking about the party. Like, she was on my side 100%."
Yeah.
And then she thought there was something between me and Mel.
Oh
right?
my god, dude!
And then I told Mel, I was like, "Dude, you're a girl, man. You're not supposed to take my side. You're supposed to take her side." Fuck's sake. So then she thought there was something going on between us, and I
which there was.
Huh?
Which there was, right?
No, there wasn't.
I'm just kidding, dude. I'm just
But we did break up because of it.
Oh my god, petty.
Yeah.
Petty. How old were you guys?
Yeah. I was 19 and she was 17, so that was probably the problem. She was still at high school.
Petty.
Yeah,
for me, there was an awkward moments throughout my high school career. Because I don't know, I just always had a lot of friends that were girls growing up. If that
you must have had an awkward moment then if you've always just been around girls.
I've always been around a lot of, and the crazy thing is all these girls are like really hot and my friends didn't understand why. Right? Like I would have all my friends all like I was talking about last week, right? Like all my girlfriends just happened to be like one of the hottest girls in our class or school or whatever, right? But I'm not that good looking of a guy, right? Like
hot as fuck, Panda.
Yeah, whatever. Let's call a spade a spade. I'm not like that fucking dude who's just like ripped. I'm just an average looking guy, right? And I don't know how I attract all these extremely attractive women.
Dancing.
Not dancing. I wasn't even dancing that much.
It is dancing, though.
Until
it's the fact that you can dance and you're really sociable and you're
people
really
didn't know I knew how to dance until like junior year in high school.
You're extremely easy to talk to, though, man.
That's another thing. I'm really extreme, but I was really shy in middle school. I didn't really talk much in middle school. Only when I moved back to Florida. When I moved to Florida is when I kind of had to really talk. Because my best friend wasn't there to talk for me. You know what I mean? So, but it was kind of crazy because when I was in high school, I was that super awkward kid that didn't talk to anyone, but I just kind of was cool because I dressed nice or I had a sense of style. Quotations. Right? And I wasn't like, I didn't belong to any clique. You know, like the jocks, the nerds, or like the goth people. Like, no, I didn't. So I really kind of just really hung out with everyone, right? Because I was in band, I was in ROTC, and I was like one of like 7 Asians at our school. Right? And I just knew everything. Like, oh, you talk about video games? Oh, I play video games. Or you go to sports? Oh, yeah, I was in band, so I had to go to all the games, and like I knew all the sports people. Oh, you're in band? I'm a nerd too. You know, like, oh, you're in ROTC? Let's talk about military stuff. Like, and when you're in between periods, you know how you just go to your clique and you just kind of stay there? I didn't really have a clique, so to speak, right? So I'd always hang out with the Asians in the morning, and then I'd go towards the jocks and talk to them about stuff, and then I'd go to like the emo kids and play hacky sack, and then I'd go to like the black people group and just talk to them a little bit, and I'd be like everywhere, you know what I mean? Like that would be me, and no one really didn't like me, you know.
Makes sense.
You know what I mean? Like no one was like,
No
Panda,
one got a negative vibe off you.
Yeah. Panda's like, no one's like, fuck Panda, right? Except for the people who I purposely outed off my circle because they fucked up. You know what I mean?
The haters, right? Yeah, the haters.
I didn't hate them. See, hate's a strong word. I didn't say that.
No, the haters, the ones that didn't like you.
Oh, no. They didn't, no one really did. Like, they just were just, I think of it as have you ever seen the movie Zorro? Like the Mask of Zorro. So there's like a circle. You're in a circle and there's 3 rings, right? So there's like the inner circle and then the regular circle and then the outer circle. the people in the outer circle did not exist because they fucked up, right? But like the people who are in the middle circle, the inner circle, they're like, okay, inner circle is my best friends. Like the people in my, hey, project, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I love you. Hey, girl, what's going on? And so the inner circle are my best friends. And then the outer circle was just like everybody else, right? And the way you fucked up was if I asked you or depended on you for something and you just didn't, disregarded shit like that. Nice. Thank you, Ice Avalon. Hey, King Gordon.
Project's like, fuck Kiwi, dude.
Kiwi's here. Kiwi's here. Hey, who's that? Just fuck it.
Damn, son.
I'm hurt. Project never comes in and says hi anymore. Just
I know, right? Well, cause see, I come into her stream and I say, "Hey, what's up?"
yeah, well, I come into her stream too, dude, but she doesn't want to say hi to me.
Damn!
Damn, son.
Called out, son. All right. So yeah, so that was me, and for me, it was awkward for girls because I'd always talk to girls all the time like it was nothing, but when I liked a girl, it was different. I didn't know, like, talking to girls was like super easy for me until I realized, until I realized I liked her. Then the whole image of her was different, right? And I was super awkward. I didn't know how to talk to her. I didn't know what to say. I'd always be like, "Oh, hey, what's going on?" You know, like I'd freeze up because I liked her, you know, and I was like, "Fuck, what do I say to this girl?" You know what I mean? Like that's the whole like the fucked up shit. I'm like, "Oh, dude," I'd be like, "Hey, do you want to watch a movie sometime?" You know, and they'd be like,
as you literally crack a high, like sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Me and my friends were all going to watch a movie. Like I would never ask a girl on a date. Like that's how crazy the shit was, right? What's all they were? Yeah, just dance with her. This was before I was a dancer. Like this was before I like danced. So I didn't always learn how to. I mean, I did dance for a long time, but no one really knew until like junior year. I'm talking like pre-junior year in high school, and people didn't know. It's all right. You're here for the show, right? And
yeah, for the Panda podcast.
Panda podcast. Hey, girl. And so I'd always make it a group thing, like, "Oh, let's go to the movies, everyone." And I'd never make a move with all the girls that we would hang out with because it'd be like me, the girl I liked, my best friend, and his girl, and like other friends, and it'd be all a group, so it wouldn't be like super awkward where it's just like, "Oh, hey." The whole like, you know, the sneaking hand over the shoulder shit, like it never did. I never never made the move, right? Until the girls came on to me. Like that would be the thing because I never made a move. But the girls would, and
so that's why you're always single. Shots fired, bang bang.
Damn! Oh my! Fucked up. No, because I would always like the girls would come down to me because they know like I was not that way, and they were tired of like waiting. And it's so fucked up too because I missed so many opportunities with the girls I liked because I never made a move, and they were waiting for me to make the move until it was fucking too late. Like
because you're a little bitch and didn't speak.
No, I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know they liked me back. Like that was the crazy shit, dude. Because they're always so nice to me, and I was like, "Oh, this person's really nice." And like I never thought of them in that way. You know what I mean? Like I never thought about like I never really was like, "Oh, she's cute. It should be cool if she like, you know, we'd be kind of cool if we hung out together, right?" But that never really happened. Oh my god, what the fuck just happened? I just got disconnected. Dude, that was super weird. Did I just randomly disconnect?
What is up with Project? Now she realizes I'm here? Alright. Bye.
Anyways. What's going on, Project? Kiwi says hi back. But anyways. yeah, I never really had, that shit where, like, it was after high school and I'd talk to this girl on Facebook and be like, hey, the crazy part? I kind of liked you, and, like, I'd say this to, like, multiple girls, like, because I was friends with them on Facebook, or I just found them on Facebook, and I was like, hey, I don't like it, like, and they would go, what? They would go, mind blown. I was like, I liked you too, and I'm like, wait, what? No fucking way. I was like, yeah, but I was just, because ball of this, and this, and I would be so fucking mad, dude.
And Panda didn't learn from his mistakes, dude. Look, he's still single.
Wait, listen. I'm single now because I'm in a situation where I'm not going to be here.
Yeah, it's self-choice, right?
It's self-choice, exactly.
Yeah, right.
I'm single because it's fucked up to be in a relationship right now. Because
what about the
I'm going to be...
What about the waitress, dude? Ooh.
The waitress?
Wait. Yes, the waitress.
What waitress?
Didn't you say you go down to... Dude, we talked about it last podcast, how you were, like, hitting on a girl.
Okay. My friend, is that what you're talking about? From last week that I was talking to?
Yeah.
Okay. So, the reason why I'm not getting a girlfriend now is because, one, I'm not financially independent. Right? And I'm not going to be in this particular spot for very long. Right?
I get it, man. I'm just teasing you.
You fucking asshole. You're a fucking dick. Because I'm going to be moving back to Florida anyway, so having a relationship here would make me stay here longer, which I don't want to do. So
then
why
you just take them with you to Florida?
No, fuck that, dude. Hell no. I've done that already, and that shit backfired all the way up, dude. How dare you move to Florida? How dare you? How dare you? Being single, it's fun being single. I've been single for way too fucking long. Huh?
Oh, dear. Oh, yeah.
How dare you? How dare you move to Florida? How dare you move to Florida, son?
She has no idea that she spelled that wrong.
Oh, God.
Oh,
but, I mean, nowadays... I have a certain, like, type of girl that I like now, right? It's kind of fucked up, but it's because I'm allowed to be picky. You know what I mean? I'm allowed to be picky, okay? The digital type. Hey! Fucking asshole.
You gotta be picky.
I have a type. So, one, she has to either be a dancer or wanting to learn to be a dancer, right? And she has to be okay with the fact that I play video games a lot, right? Or she plays video games.
Good luck finding one of those, dude.
Yeah. So here's the stipulation, right? She either has to be a dancer or a gamer, right? She either has to be one of those or be willing to learn how to dance or willing to learn how to play games.
And accept that you will play video games.
Yeah, except like understand that I play video games. I don't want you to be like, why you always play video games all the time? I'm like, why the fuck am I in a relationship with you? Like, that's how it would be. You know what I mean? What's up, meows? We talking about love? We're talking about girls kind of thing, you know what I mean? Panda, love you. Video something. All right, Ice. Ice Avalon. Ciao. Panda. Hey! Anyways. But, yeah, so that thing right there, and then... You have to be, like, the lady... I'm just going to say it straight up. I love Spanish girls, bro. You know what I mean? Like, I love Spanish girls. I love Spanish culture because I just like dancing. Like, they're dancing, like, bachata, salsa, whatever. If you're dancing, hip-hop not so much anymore, but I can still do it. But I'd rather be able to do the salsa, bachata, like the ballroom dance and stuff. Like, if you can do that, or if you want to learn how to do that, since I could teach you, that's the kind of girl that I want. And a girl who, you know, has her own shit going on. Like, she's pretty independent. She doesn't need me to be around her all the time. You know what I mean?
Non-needy.
You could be needy, right?
No,
but,
you can't, dude. You don't need to go. You don't want to go that's needy.
No, you could be needy, but you could be without me also, right? Like
being needy. If she's needy though, she needs you, right?
Yeah. Who? The important question: who's going to be on top? See, that's a question to be had. I'm a freak, so it's whatever, right?
I don't think she was expecting you to answer.
Hey, Pop Fizz is a dude, by the way. That's from Sweden. Norway. Which one of those countries, right? And I can dance and game. See, Project? That's why...
Them Germans are crazy, you know.
Panda's like feeling uncomfortable. I'm not feeling uncomfortable. What you talking about? Girl?
Panda.
Alright, fuck that shit up. But, dude, what was I talking about?
So much at the same time.
I know, I fucked shit up, bro. I would be, missionary. That's normal. And then I'd be on the bottom. I could be sideways. I could be upside down. I could be standing. You could be lifting me up off the ground. Whatever, dude. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wait. She lifts you off the ground? How does that work, Panda?
See, it would be like a chair thing, like apparatus.
Okay, dude, you need to stop this conversation. Project is literally gaming right now.
I'd be in an apparatus upside down and shit. It'd be like that, not BDSM shit, but like you just happen to be upside down or like underwater. Yeah, I'm down for underwater shit. You know,
yeah, this is now a podcast about sex, by the way.
No. Calm down. I'm just saying she asked a question and I'm now talking about it. Okay, so moving on.
All right, man.
But band, no. Calm down. Chill. All right. We're gonna keep moving on to the next topic. So, bottom line is, Panda likes Spanish girls. I just love how they look, how they act, their personality, because they're fucking crazy. The right kind of crazy. And they're dancing, right? Boom, 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 right? So, moving on to our next subject. We're still on the topic of girls, but it's a different kind of subject, right? So, Kiwi, tell me about your first girlfriend. How did you meet her?
We went to school together.
You went to school together? Okay.
Yeah, she moved to school, moved to the same school. It was high school.
Okay. And
first proper girlfriend, right?
So this was in New Zealand or this in Denmarkian?
This is in New Zealand.
Okay, New Zealand. All right.
And she moved to high school. Well, she went to the same high school as me. And then basically she was dating someone that I knew. But she wasn't into him. And I was like, well, I'm interested in you.
Damn, Mr. Steel Girl.
Yeah, Mr. Steel Girl.
Fucking savage.
Pretty much, dude. Yeah, a bit of a dick
so you're that trifling dude. Or did she break up? She broke up with him.
She broke up with him before we did anything whatsoever.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but
who made the first move? You did or she did?
Definitely, probably me.
You? So what'd you do? So you.
Well, I told her that I was interested. I told her that I was very interested.
So why? So my first question is, what like made her like? She has a boyfriend already, but I don't
she wasn't
give a
into
fuck. Yeah. So what made her? What made you like her specifically? Because she was hot, like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
Or what about her personality that was not physical?
She was a redhead, and she always smiling, dude, always happy.
Okay, so it was the face that got your ass, right?
Yeah. Well, no, there was definitely other things, but we're not going to talk about that.
She had a nice personality.
Nice, very bubbly.
Bubbly. Oh, okay. So you're an ass man. Got you. I understand.
And boobies.
Okay. So she was well-rounded. Okay, got it. We understand. She was well-rounded.
She was a dancer as well. So
Funny
that.
So you guys you're obviously not together anymore.
No.
How did you guys break up?
We broke up because I was too much into sport, and I never really spent time with her towards the end because I didn't really have time.
Because you were a douchebag. Just kidding. Yeah, different priorities. I understand that, dude.
It was definitely my fault, and she moved to the very south of New Zealand, and I stayed up north. University, basically.
Understandable. My first girlfriend. Let's talk about my first girlfriend. My first girlfriend, I saw her in 7th grade at a talent show, and she sang. Right? She was a super nerdy girl with glasses and like super pasty skin, but she had a voice of an angel. She sang like Seasons, and I was like, whoa, this girl's awesome, right? And I was like, yeah, because I was really quiet and I didn't know how. My best friend was like the most popular dude in school. He was the big flirt guy. And if you guys heard about last week, he's the guy who, like, all the girls that I liked, he Mr. Steele grilled their asses. And this is the girl that I didn't say I liked, right? I didn't say I liked because I just thought in my mind, whoa, this girl's awesome. She knows how to sing and she's super cool, right? And 8th grade rolls around. I kind of see her fucking everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, 8th grade comes around, I just see her everywhere, and we have, like, the same circle of friends, and I was like, dude, fuck. I see her on the lunchtime all the time, and I go, I'm just gonna do it, dude. I'm gonna do it. And I walked up to her, and I was like, hey, I can't, no, I didn't, no, that's not, I did that later, so, I fucked up. So, it was one of the dances, like, the school dances, and we were all having fun dancing, and then a slow song would come up, right? A slow song came up. This is gonna be fucking super cheesy, by the way. So, like, a slow dance come up, like a super slow song, and everybody started, like, and then, like, you know how, like, the guys just kind of wallflower it up, and I was just kind of sitting at the wall, and then, like, the doors opened. You know what I mean? Like, the doors opened, and, like, it was like, the girl came in. And I was like, dang, who is that? And I was like, man, she's really cute looking. You know what I mean? Let me go ask her. And then I seen her, like, guys, like, go up to her to go ask her to dance. And she'd just be like, nah. So she just curving these motherfuckers, right? And then I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it too, man. So I came up to her, was like, hey, do you want to dance? And she was like, sure. So I started walking away. And she's like, where are you going? And I go, wait, you said yeah? She's like, yeah, let's go. So she, like, grabs my hand and pulls me to, like, the middle of the dance floor, and we just kind of started dancing, right? And we started talking. We have a lot of stuff in common, and she's really cool. Her name was Hannah. And then, yeah. And then I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, oh, you're the girl that you're the girl who does that song on the thing. He's like, yeah, that's me. I was like, oh, you're so awesome, right? And then we had a good time, right? And then, like I said, the next week I see her fucking everywhere, right? And I like wave hi, and she says hi to back, and I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? Why am I seeing this girl fucking everywhere that I see her, right? Yeah, it's like a fucking super cheesy movie. I'm telling you, my life is a movie, like my life before and now. All right, so. And so I started seeing her. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to ask her out during lunchtime. So at lunch, I was like, I stopped her after, like, you know, she was carrying her tray or whatever. And I was like, hey, this is in front of, like, everyone.
Yeah, hey.
I was like, hey, what's up? And so do you want to be my girlfriend or something? And she's like,
or something.
Sure. I was like, wait, what? You said yes? Hey! And yeah, straight up. That's exactly what happened. I was like, hey, what's going on? Hey, do you want to be my girlfriend or something? And I was like, I actually did this. Because I thought she was going to say no. You know, because I was like, fuck it, right?
You're like, hey, wait, what?
Yeah. And yeah, so she said yes. And everybody was like, whoa, fucking Panda asked the girl out. Because I don't do that.
Panda grew up here. Hey.
Yeah, like no, because I was the shy guy. I was a shy guy because Robbie was like my best friend. He would talk for me all the time. I would just be the guy, his best friend. Like I would be the guy around him all the time. Super cool. Didn't really talk too much. That's why for me to like ask her was like weird, you know? And it was like, whoa, what the fuck? Where the fuck did that come from? And she was like the nerdy girl too, right? Like she wasn't really that popular, but people knew who she was. So we were just both like under the radar. And then like we both became like a thing, right? And we started dating for a while. She is a cool guy in the movie. I wasn't the cool guy. I was just the really quiet guy. That was just like, hey. Didn't really say anything.
The quiet guy that's like, hey.
Hey, girl. Hey, girl. What's going on? But, yeah, so we started dating. She was like my first everything. First kiss, first date, first dance. Not the card, though. I didn't lose virginity to her because we were super young. We were fucking middle school. Because that was super awkward. We were in middle school, and yeah, so that happened, and she dated for a whole year, so that was really fun. People thought we were, like, super cute, but then she had to move to Seattle, and I had to move to Florida. So
those are the worst breakups, man.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Breaking up for something that you can't control.
Yeah. Because her family moved to Seattle, and I was like, "Fuck, that sucks." I guess we'll keep in touch.
Breakups,
Yeah,
things that you literally can't control.
Yeah, and then I was like, "Fuck, at least I have to go to high school with my friends, right?"
But you broke up with.
And then 2 weeks later, my parents were like, "Hey, we're moving to Florida, bro." I'm like, "What the fuck?" So I had to go to high school freshman year with no friends in a fucking completely different cultural environment because I'm coming from Alaska to Florida. So like the hottest I've ever felt was like 68 degrees to fucking 112 degrees the day I went there. You know what I mean? Like fucking holy shit.
What's your longest relationship, Panda?
My longest relationship?
Yeah.
3 years? 2 years? 3 or 2 years. 2 hours, fucking asshole.
2 hours?
2 to 3 years, I want to say. Yeah, 2 to 3 years. It was started online, then we started online, and then we kind of moved to the same city, and then she moved back, and it was a long distance relationship, and then we fucking, because she moved for work, and then we just kind of drifted apart because she's lame. I realized how lame she is.
Did you and the Seattle girl break up on good terms?
Yeah, we're still friends, and we talk all the time. She's a flight attendant now. She was a model. Oh, dude. She was like the ugly duckling. You know what I mean? Like, she was like cute when we dated. She had like a nice smile. She had nice eyes. She was like kind of flat chested, but she was like in that process. And she had like, she had a nice face, but she wasn't like all the way cute. And then in high school, dude, holy fucking shit.
In high school, she grew up.
Yeah. Like when I saw her on like, it was like my junior year, I like looked her up on like Yahoo or some shit, right? I just like typed her name. And then I saw her, dude, she glowed, her face got cleared up. Her boobs she grew up. You know what I mean? And she was like a model. Like she was a model. No, she didn't have acne. She just had like little spots. Not like crazy like pepperoni face, but she's going through that stage, right? But like in high school, I saw her. I was like, dude, she got her boobs like grew up. She got really fit, and she like her hair got really nice, and she stopped wearing glasses because she got contacts. After high school, she became a model and she became an actress. You know what I mean? And she was doing a whole bunch of like CB movies, and then she became a flight attendant, and that's what she does now, right? And I was like, damn, like, you got good taste, Panda. You know what I mean? Like, and like, yeah, we still talk because, whatever. But like, I never made it back to her because my personality changed. Not really personality, my taste changed. Like, because It was high school, middle school sweetheart. I would say
Oh,
unlucky.
definitely, yeah, I'd say you got unlucky too.
Unlucky,
She's like
not
a
really,
fighter.
because like I said, in high school, I dated a lot of cute girls too. Like, yeah, I dated a lot of cute girls too. Like my senior year, my girlfriend was super hot, so whatever, right? And I had a lot, like I said, I had a lot of friends that are girls, so I'd always have girls around me, so it didn't really matter too much, because like for her it was more like the keep in touch memory thing, right? And yeah, we broke up because she moved and I moved. Suckers. All right, speaking of moving from crazy culture places, right? Kiwi, you are from New Zealand, but now you reside in Denmark. So how was that like move for you? I know you said you went somewhere before you went to Denmark. Where'd you go?
Yeah, I had crazy family problems, and I was just like, yeah, I'm out. I'm gonna take a year for myself and live with my granddad. So
Okay.
he was in Lebanon at the time.
Lebanon. That's fucking nuts. Was that a culture
Sure,
shock for
it
you? Like,
Butter? No, it wasn't. It was fine. Traffic was great. Yeah, okay, yeah, it was a culture shock. Yeah, it was. It was a big move. It was a big risk. It was a risk as well. I was leaving
what's up,
everything behind.
Dreamwolf? Sorry.
So yeah, I was leaving everything behind, but I mean, it definitely paid off. It was great.
Yeah.
Made some money. Then I moved because my grandma lives in Denmark. My granddad worked in Lebanon, and so I then went and lived with my granddad. And then after a year of making money with my granddad,
Yeah.
I moved to Denmark to live with my grandma and start studying. And here I am today.
I'm not gonna say that because I looked it up what it is. Douche. So you moving to Denmark just happened to because you just happened to move there? Or was it just like a choice that you had to do?
Denmark?
Yeah.
Wow. Denmark was definitely a choice.
Your choice? Like
Self-choice.
you didn't want to go back to New Zealand.
Just a second.
All right. So I'm gonna keep talking. So
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. No,
that
you're
was
fine.
Like, yeah. That was like it was a self choice, and I wanted to start studying and everything. So it was
Okay.
pretty good.
And you wanted to be a teacher.
Yes, sir.
So backstory.
That was the reason.
Kiwi is going to school to be a teacher, but his English is trash. Just kidding. I'm kidding. But yeah, that's what's up. He's got kids, so he knows how to speak English. That's just totally the reason why.
Is Pop Danish?
Pop, he's from Sweden.
Oh, okay. He's saying Danish words.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Anyways, so for me, going from Alaska to Florida was like really fucking weird. Like I said, going from like ice cold all the time to the hottest shit in the world all the time, it was a culture shock for me because it wasn't only the heat that I had to adjust to, it was the language barrier also, right? Because the accent on the West Coast was way different than going down to Florida. You know what I mean? Like, in Alaska, it was like the northern West Coast. So you'd be like, yo, what's up, man? That shit was the bomb, to, hey, y'all, how y'all doing? That shit was awesome, man. Like, slang to, what, dude, it was just a super, like, people, I couldn't understand people for the first, like, 3 months of me being in Florida because the accents was super hard. Because I was in, like, a redneck city. Like, a redneck town of Florida, and it was really weird. And then the heat was hard to adjust to because, one, I couldn't adjust to the heat. Every time I go outside, it was like I was melting, right? Because it was so hot all the time in Florida. I went to Florida and moved when it was like the hottest year ever, 112 degrees. I don't know what that is in Celsius, but it's fucking hot as fuck, okay? and it was super hot, and I couldn't even stand being outside for more than like 5 minutes, and then I had to go back inside where there was air conditioning. So how I trained myself to get used to the heat was I would just wear sweaters and hoodies all the time and just got used to it, which didn't work because I was just always be fucking hot as fuck all the time. But instead of like looking like I was sweating, I had like a super thick ass sweater that covered my sweat. So that's how I got used to it after like 5 years after high school. So yeah. And then now moving back to Alaska after being around the world a couple times in the Navy, it's not so bad coming back to Alaska because I know how to use clothes properly. But anyways, dude, we've been talking for over a fucking hour. What's happening? We didn't even talk about anything. Kiwi, what's happening right now?
Yes. What's happening?
What's happening? We've been talking for over an hour.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Time goes fast.
I know, it's crazy. So the last thing we're gonna talk about is something that's really uncommon nowadays. Well, now that when you're older, this should happen for gentlemen, boys, young men, right? So what happens is when guys and girls, when they grow up, they get domesticated, right? So domesticated man is the topic. So if you don't know what domesticated means, that means you're able to self-sustain yourself in terms of living, right? So like a domesticated man would be able to know how to cook his own meals, clean his house, do laundry, and be a father figure, right? So I know myself, I learned how to domesticate myself at a very young age. I learned how to cook when I was in high school. I learned how to do laundry when I was in high school. Yeah, isn't that just basic of being a man? Exactly. Like, that's what I mean. Well, people I know in college, these motherfuckers don't know how to do shit. All right? They don't know how to do laundry. They don't know how to cook food. They don't know how to clean their shit.
I know people that are like 28 now and they still don't know how to clean their house.
That's what I'm saying. You don't know how to fucking wash your dishes. Like, it's crazy. Like, people, like, college.
It's laziness, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, like, no, but that's what I mean. Like, when I was growing up, my parents, like, taught me all that shit. You know what I mean? But, like, when I was in college, it blew my fucking mind that people didn't know how to do these things. Like, for instance, the girls, when I was in college, the girls that I was dating, they didn't know how to cook. They didn't know how to do anything. It was fucking wild. I was like, how do you not know how to cook? Granted, I was like I went to the Navy first and I did all that shit, and then I went to college.
You don't need to, even if you're in the Navy, like, you still, what the fuck?
No, I was in the Navy and I already knew how to cook in the Navy, but I was a cook in the Navy. You know what I mean? But like, I learned how to do all this stuff anyways, but like, when I went back to college, like the 19, 20-year-olds, they were like still eating out, didn't know how to do a lot of shit. I'm like, dude, what the fuck did you do when you were in high school? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? Oh, my mom used to do all this stuff. I'm like, dude, no, you need to learn how. I would teach these girls how to cook. Like, that's how crazy this shit was, man. You know what I mean? America. America. Fuck yeah. But yeah, and then now that I'm older, when I see a woman with kids, like a single mom, and like she's still able to like go out and stuff, I think that's hot as fuck. Does that make sense?
I get that, yeah.
Like, all right, so you're a single mom, you have your shit together, and you have enough time to go out and dance and shit. You got your fucking shit together, right? Like, and you're still like,
you're gaming in real life.
Yeah, you got your shit together. You fucking have a super nice job. You have a kid that the dad's not, like, the baby dad is not even in the picture. You know what I mean? And you still have fucking time to go out and have fun. That's fucking hot, dude. Priorities, right? You're fucking gaming in real life, exactly. Fucking yeah, and I'm like, dude, A-okay. You know what I mean? Like, that shit's hot. I don't know. That's just how I feel about that. So that is all the topics we have today. Thank you everyone who came to the channel, to the live stream. This will be up on the social medias. If you haven't followed me on that, it would be awesome if you guys did. Make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. For those of you, put a like, the comments, and all that other good stuff. Thank you guys for listening. Everyone in the chat, thank you for all your community assistance. Shit, Lord. God damn it. You got me. And yeah, so that is the podcast. Thank you guys for listening. I love you, every single one of you. Peace, y'all.